Great sadhakas, wonderful friends, wonderful shrotas, jignasus. Welcome you all. For you and me, congratulations that in the study of Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayana, today is our 500th class. 500 classes आज का हो रहे हैं. Great. So in the 500 classes, if we have done 3000 shloka or 5000 slokas, so far 32,000 slokas, we have 3200 days, maybe little less. So maybe because some of the prakaranas are so big, some of the sargas are big, some of the topics are big, we don't know. But we will go on studying this text as long as Paramatma allows us. उन्होंने कृपा किया, हो रहा है, अचानक कभी वो मना कर देते हैं तो अपने आप ही रुक जाएगा वो. What is there? So let us be ready for everything. In this Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayana, we are studying third out of 6 prakaranas. Utpatthi Prakaranam, and how many upakhyanas in this? So beautiful. First of all, the Leelopakhyanam we are seeing. Mother Saraswati, goddess, and Leela, Samvada we are seeing. So Saraswati herself is Guru, Leela Shishya. Excellent discussion is going on. Chidakasha is ultimate truth explained. Other are kalpita on that. Now, in this particular sarga, which we started 2 3 days back, number 22, Vignana Abhyasa Varnanam. Okay, life may Abhyasa is important to get into anything. It will come also in one of these shlokas. You and I first, coming to the class is our first Abhyasa. Coming regularly to the class is our second Abhyasa. Trying to focus our mind and intellect to listen to what is spoken is our third Abhyasa. When continued, we master it. Then once the data we are able to collect by proper tuning, which takes some months of time, every day if you come, then the next Abhyasa is pondering over the Jnanam that is collected here. Manana Chintan Krita. Then comes this Jnanam to us through Manana Chintana. Of that we do the Abhyasa. So Vijnana Abhyasa. So first part is Vijnana Prapti Abhyasa, which we said these 4 steps of coming to the class, regularly being here in the class, listening seriously, sincerely. Then third, doing Manana Chintana. Fourth, understanding that knowledge through the Manana Chintana. These 4 are Vijnana Prapti Abhyasa. Siddhanta Rupena, Bauddhika Rupena. Once the theory and intellectual understanding happens of the Vijnana that everything is Brahman, nothing other than it is real, of that we have to do the Abhyasa. That's called as Vijnana Prapti Abhyasa, then Prapta Vijnana Abhyasa for Anubhuti. Finally, what Liberated says is only the Anubhuti that Aham Brahmasmi. Isn't it? So in this sarga, we have touched upon shloka number up to 6, 7, 8, 9. हाँ जी, 10वां भी देखा हमने, इवन 11 तक हमने देखा. Every shloka, so much of beautiful knowledges it was conveying to us. In the first few shlokas, the 5 points, again the 5 points, again 3 points, again 2 points. Yesterday, we had a very beautiful analysis of that. We won't repeat it today. Straight away, we take today from Shloka Sankhya 9 onwards we do. 9, 10, 11 will be for reminders. 12 onwards today we study. Let us see what are the things Mother is teaching us today. Spend 2-3 minutes please, maybe 4 minutes in our Mangala Charana Shloka, which are very essential for me, speaker, you listeners, to invoke the Krupa of Rama Bhagavan, Vaashishtha Bhagavan, Vishwamitra Bhagavan, Valmiki, Vamadeva, Vedavyasa, Narada, and the Yoga Vaasishta Maharavana Shastra itself and all the gurus. Then only we'll be able to maintain this regular, sincere listening and understanding. Okay, friends, start. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo. Om Yairime Gurubhi Purvam. Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattuliyam Ramanama Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhe Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्री वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योगवासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराणे इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषि मुनि गुरु देवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थं अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण प्रकरण स्मृति मोक्ष शास्त्रस्य पारायण अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः. ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः. ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः. स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः. दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः. ॐ सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखघनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं परं. ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते. ॐ तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे. विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम्. तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः. पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृत जलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री वसिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने विज्ञान अभ्यास वर्णनं नाम द्वाविंशतितम सर्गः। श्री वसिष्ठ उवाच श्री देवी उवाच So the discussion is about Adibhautikata and Ativahikata. We have ignorance and terrible vasanas, because of which for us this Adibhautika Sharira is made, and we are, because of the default of vasanas, pushed to enter into it, stay in it, and identify with it, and live only as it, and live as the Sharira to such an extent that there are the other two possibilities of living that we have forgotten, that we are never exposed to, that we have never gone near to that topic at all. The other two possibilities of living are, one is the Ativahika, second is Brahmaswarupa Sthiti. What is the difference between living life as the Stula Deha level, Ativahika level is? At the Stula Deha level, Stula Deha Tadatmya is there. When you go to Ativahika level, the Stula Deha Tadatmya goes away, but I as a Jiva with Sukshma Deha, I continue. That Sukshma Deha Vasanas also, when they are totally gone, that Ativahika only will realize my essential self, that I am Brahman. Two, while living in this body only, through the exhaustion of vasanas of Dehosmi, we can reach to the Ativahika sthiti of life. And this is a part of what we studied in Yoga Darshanam when we were studying the Vibhuti Pada, that after the Chitta Nigraha is done of Samyama, when it is applied on various aspects, how various siddhis come to us. Plenty of them we studied. One of them is this reaching to Ativahika sthiti. With that Ativahika sthiti is reached, many sublime lokas and darshanas and experiences are accessible to us, which are not accessible when we are totally engrossed in the Stula Dehosmi sthiti. This is the topic going on. Before that, we were told about the differences between Nidravastha, Swapnavastha, Jagradavastha, Murchavastha, then Mokshavastha. All we saw. The difference between them also they were said. In the Jagrat Avastha only the three avasthas. One is Jagrat, one is Moha Avastha, Murcha, like that. Third is in the Jagrat only, even you can call it Atvayika Sthiti. One more it is the Atmanubhava Sthiti. Okay. The final one, the Atmanubhava Sthiti, is then when the Atma Jnana through practice is experienced and root, all the vasanas which pull us to become Jiva, which pull us to identify the Deha, they are all exhausted. So what you and I as a human being throughout life has to do is two things. One, exhaust all the vasanas which bind us to be the Jiva. Second is abide in our essential self. See, in each of the Shastra, the same Mukti sadhana is told in so many ways. We should be able to study all of them, grasp all, whatever is suitable and possible and accessible to us. Through that, we reach out to the truth. Okay. Now, we'll see the text from the 9th mantra. What Mother said here, Shuddha Satvanupatitam Chetah Pratanuvasanam Ativahikatam Eti Imam Tapadivambutam. This we saw yesterday also, day before also. Chetaha, our chitta. Pratanuvasanam. From that, when the Stula Deha and the Stula Deha Sambandhi Vasanas are Pratanu, Tanu Kruta, when they are eliminated. Because the Vasanas have gone away, that is Shuddha Sattva Sthiti. With that Shuddha Sattva Sthiti, the Chittaha Ativahikatam eti. All is in chitta only. When the chitta in laya avastha, we are in nidra. That time, atma ajnana as well as vasanas in the bija rupa will be there. When the chitta is projecting its world from the vasanas without sthula sharira, it is called swapna avastha. When the chitta is also expressing the sthula jagat, sthula deha, tadatma samadhi vasanas, we come to the jagrata avastha. In the chitta, when the jagrat, swapna, sambandhi, all vasanas go away, Shuddha it becomes, then it is now into the Ativahika sthiti. Same chitta when, after understanding the Lakshanas of Paramatma Tattva, contemplates on the Paramatma Swarupa, this chitta slowly, in its effort to catch or comprehend or understand the Paramatma Tattva, it merges to become one with Paramatma Tattva. Along with that chitta, we also merge as if to discover our oneness with that. Okay, remember one sentence. When we try to know Brahman, we become Brahman. Even we don't become, we realize Brahman, that we are already that. Let this sentence be caught and study Shastras to understand it beyond all the doubts. Okay, here, when the vasanas are removed, because of which chitta becomes Shuddha Satta Guna, that chitta now is in Ativahika Sthiti. So, Chetaha Pratanuvasanam Chetaha Shuddha Sattva Anupatitam Chetaha Ativahikatam eti. Example is Himam Tapadiva Ambuta. Because of the sunlight, when the snow or the ice gets melted and becomes water like that. Okay. Then the continuation of it. Ativahikatam yatam buddham chittantara irmanaha sarga janmantaragatai siddhair milatinetharatu. See? Chitta. Now the talking is about manaha. Manaha. Ativahikatam yatam manaha. Buddham manaha. Okay? These are all the state of the mind we have taken it to through elimination of the vasanas. So when the mind, by freeing itself from the vasanas, reaches to Ativahika Sthiti and also Buddham, awakens to the consciousness, such mana chittantaraihi sarga janma antaragatai siddhaihi milati netarat. It mixes with the Siddha Purushas, mixes with the chitta of the other people, Sarga in the present life, Janmantaragatai in the other lives also. Early means past, present, future. That is the beauty of the mind when it has reached Ativahikata and also fully digested and awakened to the Tat Sadvastu. Now, from this, the yogis, about whom we listen in Purana Itihasas, that they have become manifest here or manifest there, or gave darshana to that bhakta, all of that are now having the authority here. So those people have transcended their sthula deha vasana, therefore they reached Atvahikata, and by this Astra Jnana, they meditated on the self, that their chitta is fully engrossed in that Tattva Jnana. Because of that, they are able to tune to the other minds too. They are able to tune to the Siddha Purushas also. So Siddhaihi milati, Sarga Janma Antargataihi. So, see, Chittantaraihi means with other Chittas, Sarga Janma Antargataihi means the other past and future creations. Then Siddhaihi also with the Sarga Janmantargataihi Siddhaihi Milati means what? Of the earlier life and future life also, whatever was there and going to be, this chitta is able to apprehend, comprehend that also. In one word, this Ativahika Chitta, you will be able to tune to the other Chittas of the past, present, future. Because Leela wanted to see that loka of Brahmana and Brahmani, that Gaon. With this body you cannot. It is not in this plane. It's in different plane. That's accessible when you need to reach to that Ativahika Sthiti. Clear? Now next one you see. For that reaching to that stage, some important thing which we discussed for more than 20 minutes yesterday. And it is a point to be discussed and made clear and kept in our heart throughout our life, whether we are in the outer Vyavaharika Jivan or we are in the Adhyatmika Jivan. With how many examples we explained yesterday, Data Viveka Chodamani, etc. Remember that Aham, the ego, which we pamper so much, which we propitiate so much, which we value so much, that Aham is an enemy to itself. That Aham is the enemy to this world too. That Aham is the enemy because of which the real self is not realized. That we have to understand. That's why when you are in very close uh, devotion to the Guru in his mood of love for you, taking us into confidence. If at all he reveals some subtle truths, one of the subtle truth is this: drop the ego of any sort. Guru can't tell that to everyone because when that is told, people react because ego is so strong and it is so difficult to drop it. Only confidentially. है ना, लाइक कोई गुरु को आप बहुत शरणागत होकर भक्त होकर गुरु महाराज तो तत्व को जानना है, क्या करें आप बताइए. In public you ask, he will just quote some scripture, Upanishad, and वहां वो गुरु ने वो साधना आता है कर हो जाएगा. That's what he speaks. That's the authority of Shah. But when you go very close to him through devotion, surrender, and prove to him, you deserve, I deserve. And that in that at that stage, in that mood, if at all Guru gives the ultimate upadesha, that is this only, just aham ko drop karo. That's what we always talk about. Naham dehosmi and naham jivosmi. In devotion, that aham is dropped by surrendering everything to the Lord. In Vedanta, we become witness even to the aham, which when identifies with gross body is playing the play as waker called as Vishwa. Identifying the subtle body, playing the play as a dreamer called as Taijasa. Same aham playing the play of deep sleeper called as Prajna, identify the causal body. I am witness to all of them. And that three ego expressing in three forms. Usko chodo. This is the shloka. At least some data we heard it. Even in after 10 lives also, if this is understood, that the small I is the obstruction for the revelation of the big I. Like भगवान सूर्य है तो छोटा उंगली ऐसा सामने को आंक के, huge Surya also is covered. You can't see. So to the small ego is enough to cover the all pervading infinite self. From our experience, my ego is an obstruction for experiencing my essential self. How difficult this thought to understand, isn't it? How seemingly complicated it is. But when we are calm, quiet, subtler, tuned to the Guru and listen to Vedanta sufficiently, then we understand what is meant by the Guru by these sentences. Aham with upadhi is the obstruction. Bas. When all upadhis are arpita to the Lord, then the upadhi owner aham also becomes arpita. That stage we have to. Sloka is what? Yada teyam aham bhavah swabhavas swabhyasat shanti meshyati tadodeshyati te sparhat drishyanta bodhata swayam. One of the very important sloka. The whole topic beautiful, and in that topic subtopics are excellent. In between such beautiful complete slokas. That is how all texts travel. Then this is no less. See, yada, when they, your, I am aham bhavaha, this ego identity. Swabhyasat, with suabhyasa, with a matured practice, shanti meshyati, when it gets quietened. Tada, that time, te udeshyati, for you gets awakened. Sparat, crystal clear form mein. What is that? Drushya anta bodhata swayam. You know, for you awakens that bodhata, the experience of the self, dushyanta, where there is nothing drushya other than that Paramatma Tattva. When drushya is not there, drashta is not there. Drashta is ego. Ego dropped, therefore drushya also goes away. Then the self on which the drashta, drushya both are projected, that is revealed. In our morning Mandukya Upanishad, tomorrow we'll see that topic only. Means we studied that today, to some extent we explained, further explanations tomorrow. Ki how the Vijnana Spandana leads to Drashtu Darshana Ta Bhava. Rujuvakrādika bhāsam alāta spanditam yatha Drashtu Darshana Abhasam Vijnana Spanditam Tada. Or Drushya Darshana Ta Bhasam. Tune, don't miss it. So, yada te ayam aham bhavaha swabhyasat shanti meshyat. Through the swabhyasa, when the aham bhava is made shanta, tada udeshyati, then gets awakened, you get awakened to bodhata, your essential identity with the self. En route, drishyanta, there is nothing drishya for you to see. Means what? Drishya, दृश्य को देखने वाला दृष्टा रूपी अहम, both are projected on the self out of ignorance and hiding the self only. Like my ignorance of the rope projects the snake and hides the rope from my vision. My ignorance of the rope projects the snake and hides the reality, the rope, from my own vision. Correct? So, therefore, what is the sadhana indicated in this sloka? Aham bhavaha shanti meshyati. The aham bhava has to become shant. Mother Saraswati used the word suabhyasat. Swabhyasa means suabhyas. Su plus a, u plus a, va. Swabhyasat. Now, in this text, in the present context, it's not explained, but future it will be told. And in many other texts, so many techniques we have heard about how to quieten the aham bhava. है ना? One, in the bhakti bhava, the aham is quietened by offering all the things which we possess, offering all our upadhis, offering ourselves at the altar of our chosen Lord. Like the great Vaishnava Bhaktas, more seen. In Shiva Bhakta also they are there. They always talk themselves as that Ramadasa and Krishnadasa. They don't maintain any identity. It's a very peculiar way of their wording also. है ना? रामदास आपके सामने ये बात प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं You ask who is that Ramadas? Me only. Means they won't even allow that individual identity anytime. You know, like in some languages, in Hindi, mein they say, no, even with somebody elders in front, if you do some work or tea, acha bana, here they ask, who made this tea so nicely? You say, aapka hi das. है ना? You use that word, कभी तो सुना होगा. In Urdu, there is another way of saying. Urdu हिंदी है वो तो. You know, the word they use is नाचीज. नाचीज वाला शब्द आपने सुना होगा ना? नाचीज in Sanskrit is most beautiful. Tapona Maharaj used to use this word for himself continuously. Beautiful word. Whenever that word is heard, it touches the heart. But one has to have that vocabulary. The word he used to use is akinchana. Same nacha is in Urdu. Akinchana. Akinchana means not even little. Kinchana means thoda. Akinchana means thoda bhi nahi. Kinchit. A akinchana. Akinchanata bhava. Like in Totakastakam, the Totakacharya writes in the last sloka, no? Vidita namaya vishadaika kala nacha kinchana kanchanam asti guru. So dhana wise also I am akinchana and qualification wise also I am akinchana. Still I am at your feet surrendered to you. You take me at your feet. You give me that refuge. Bhava Shankara Deshika me Sharana. So in bhakti, the akinchana bhava. Ramasya dasosmyaham, Krishnasya dasosmyaham. Ityadi. In Jnana Marga, you know, same thing, little analytical it is that I, the ego, boast myself because of my upadhis and the things around which I possess. In the analysis marga, Vishleshana, Vicharana, ego marga, sorry, Jnana marga, we find that through intellectual understanding, all these things never belong to us. It is a recognition through the Jnana. है ना? Like you are an MLA. तो इन भक्ति मार्ग प्रभु ने को समर्पण कर दिया, मैंने ये पोस्ट को, ये देश को समर्पण कर दिया. In Jnana Marga, it is understood. Unless the Praja elect me, how can I become MLA? It's they who are the one who have casted the vote for me. So Jnanam. So it doesn't belong to me. It little higher Jnanam में जाओगे, तो you have that Vastu Jnanam. Vastu Jnanam is the knowledge about the substrate. From the substratum standpoint, none of these superimposed really exist. Then also, all the idam which I possess and bloat myself as aham is found to be never there or never belongs to me or offered to the Lord. ममता नहीं है और ममता मेरा नहीं है, यह ममता भगवान को अर्पित है. In that individual, in this way, when the mamata is not there, ahamta also is not there. And that consciously has to be practiced. Many upayas by which the ego can be sublimated. Like as many upayas are there to bloat the ego, so many upayas to sublimate. You know, one of the upaya is what? Ki, just see the whole cosmos. Trillions and trillions of Milky Ways, galaxies, solar systems are there. Uncountable. In that, where is our solar system? In that, where is our earth and what's its position? In that earth, where is India? And in that India, even small state in one jilla, in one gully, somewhere in a room, I am sitting on a table with this, 5.5 foot body and 70 kilo body and empty mind. In this way, you see, we find that we are nothing. In the whole cosmos, The whole earth also is a speck only. It's a dust particle. Earth. But in that earth, what's our position? In what way we are great? What do we possess? हमारा दिमाग, हमारा ज्ञान, हमारा पैसा, जिसको लेकर हम इगोइस्टिक है, they are all meaningless. This is another way of reducing our ego. So swabhyasat yadate aham bhava shantim upayishyati. When Mother Saraswati said this, we are just analyzing in what way we can sublimate our ego. Either by offering to the God, or recognizing that it is never belonging to us, or knowing that it never exists, or comparatively. Speak. है ना? Like this pravachanam going on. How many millions and billions of rishis, munis, gurus have come and spoke on these shastras? How many millions of times? In that flow of them, जैसे आप कुंभ मेला में जाते हो, इन दैट मुख्य डेज 5-6 करोड़ लोग नहा रहे, उसमें वन वेयर आर वी? इन द सेम वे कल और आएंगे मुझसे बेहतर कहने वाले, तुमसे बेहतर सुनने वाले. You understand? They are the techniques required to eliminate our ego. Because only in the sublimation of the ego, the real self is realized. There are some sadhakas who realize it. Consciously, they are aware about not allowing the ahanta mamata to, what you call, pop up, to become stronger. They don't allow it at all. कोई भी चीज जिसे अहम बढ़ा वो छोड़ देते हैं. And we feel becoming a strong ego is great achievement. And for that we do every nonsense and even defeat others. Hare Ram Ram Ram. Yesterday we gave the example of snake and all. If you take the rope as snake, there's no problem. But snake has rope and put in your neck. This ego is like snake. It's a poisonous. Aham is Visham. That's my ego only biting others like a snake and giving dukkha to them. Continuously the ahankara sarpa. That's why Bhagavan Krishna in that Yamuna river, he danced on the Kaliyanaga, so swirling and moving in that swiftly moving waters of Yamunaji. That water of Yamuna is samsara. In that, the Kaliya serpent is our ego with its hundreds of hoods of expressing that poison through the ego. He danced on it and quieted that ego. That's why in temples, when you go, Vaishnava temples, Mukhya Rupena, they put, after giving you tirtha and whatever, on the head the shadari. In that shadari above, if you see, what do you find there? Bhagavan Narayana's, Krishna's charana chihna hote wahan. What is the meaning of it? All that puja, everything you have done now. Offer all of that along with the doership also under the feet of Krishna. Then you get Krishna Krupa, in which you realize your oneness with Krishna Tattva. So many beautiful things in our Shastras. So Mother just said, so Abhyasavashat yada taye iyam ahankaraha prashamyati. Okay? Yada te ayam aham bhavaha sabhyasat shantimeshyati tada, then only udeshyati te sparat. Very spashta rupena for you gets awakened. What? Drishyanta bodhata. The knowledge of the self where there is no drishya. Drashta already sublimated. So the actually in Vedanta, both the sadhanas. By rejecting drishya, the drashta is sublimated. Or by surrendering the drashtutva, the drishya also is removed. Complementing each other, when drashta, drishya, both of them are reduced, eliminated, the substratum druk swarupa paramatma on which these two are superimposed, that is realized. Very sublime. Huh? We are just talking outside with our drishti outside. But all of this should be thought over, understood inside with the closed eyes in our mind intellect. So, Spashta Rupena, we are getting the sadhanas. As we said in the beginning, in the Vyavahara also, the ego is the thing because of which we get hurt and we hurt others too. ध्यान से रहना और संभाल के रहना. And there are million ways the ego expresses. One of the funniest ego is acting as if I know nothing, I have nothing, but inside the ego is being propitiated. कुछ कुछ लोग होते हैं बाहर नाटंकी करते हैं बट उसके पीछे वो ईगो होता है, which is very difficult to recognize. There are some people नाटंकी कर रहे हैं बट उसके पीछे भी ईगो है. They want to, they have that ego that I prove myself to be not having ego. ये विचित्र है वो. In that Yaksha Prashna also, when Yaksha asks, when one reaches to that Paramapada, Yudhishthira says, when I goes, then I reach that, he says, in that language, in Sanskrit. When I goes, then I reach there. Language, you see, when I goes means the ego goes. When I reach means the sadhaka merges with the reality. Okay. Idam and aham are the bandhana. Idam aham complementingly keeping the purna aham away. So aham त्याग करो idam नहीं रहेगा, idam त्याग करो हम नहीं रहेगा. Aham idam and both of it gone. Purna aham. In Ramana Maharshi's Upadesha Saram, वो तो अहंकार का तो नाश भाजी बना दो बोलते हो. अहम ही नाश भाजी. अहम हम दया स्फुरति हृत स्वयं परम पूर्ण सत. अहम का नाश भाजी बना दो, then the Purna Sat will be revealed. And he concludes the text also with the last mantra, wherein what is the greatest, highest tapasya? He explains. The greatest, highest tapasya is the ability to give up ego. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapaha ramanavag iyam. That's the last mantra. Idam mahat tapaha. This is the highest of the tapasyas. What is that? Aham apetakam. The aham is removed. As a result, nija vibhanakam, the reality is revealed. वेरी गुड. प्रभु की कृपा से हमारे अंदर किसी भी कारण से ईगो ना हो. Let the Ishvara only express through us when we are with the upadhi in the world. Otherwise, let us be in Paramatma, Nirupadika, Nirahankara Rupena. Only these two let us choose. One with Paramatma or allow Paramatma to express, I am not there. So, Naham Jivosmi, Naham Dehosmi, Naham Asmi, Brahma Eva Asmi. This is a great abhyasa and great sadhana. Naham Asmi, Naham Asmi. But here we have to go. Aham Asmi means Aham Brahma Asmi, but Aham na Jiva Dehadi Upadi Dadatmya Jivosmi. Again, we are saying, we are just discussing it. We have not gone into the deep meditational level to recognize the aham vritti. How? Reflecting Chaitanya in it, becoming the knower, playing with the, owning the upadhis, and playing in the world and itself getting lost, and it alone playing the hero role, hiding Paramatma. Like in some places, the boss को ओवर करता है the subordinate or the manager. Manager shows off more than the boss. कभी घरों में भी सर्वेंट ज्यादा कर. In all our lives too, the self without which nothing is possible, that is hidden, and the pseudo ego comes and plays all the play. That is why in one of the ways of expressing sadhana, when I am not expressing, when I am allowing divinity to express through me, then that's a great sadhana. And it's very conspicuous for the onlookers. And among them, if there are some who have already got the knowledge or some sadhana done, they know it. Through this individual, ego is expressing, or he kept his ego aside and allowing the divinity to express. दिख जाता है तो क्या हो, थोड़ा आप साधना करो, पता चलता अपने बारे में, दूसरों के बारे में. ये the personified ego is speaking or the allowed divinity is expressing. इतना चीज है इसमें. यदा ते अयम अहम भाव स्वाभ्यासात शांति मेष्यति तदा उदेश्यति ते स्पारात दृश्यांता बोधता स्वयं. Important mantra. इसलिए we took some 10-15 minutes to discuss. So one of the take home points today is very good if our ego is not there, if others are not recognizing our ego for any of the worldly achievements. Thank God. If others recognize us, acknowledge us, our achievements, our ego gets so much boasted. And in that pseudo ego, shadow ego, the real self is never expressed. And this is Mahamaya. That's why people, when they are in the Adhyatmika marga of realizing the self, en route, all the devatas come and praise them, offer them all the gifts, names, fames, who invite them to their lokas, etc. So too, the outer world also recognizes this Mahatma so much. फूल मालाएं डाल दी, टाइटल दे दिया, गड़बड़ा आनंदा 1000835. He's so happy with all titles, all the welcomes, all the Hathi Savari, Good Savari, Gadha Savari. He's gone. Maya pakad liya unko. Then he thinks, whether I realized or not, people are recognizing me, as great. शायद हो गया होगा. Now he in that mood of maintaining that position of his. In the meantime, the Maya pushes other Babaji also in the same way. So there is a competition between these two Babe log, forgetting the reality. You understand? The Maya never leaves anyone. That's why our Paramaguru Tapon Maharaj never entered into the city with all his knowledge, wisdom, everything. He just remained aloof, somewhere in his Brahmanubhuti and saying everything as Brahman. He never gave chance to himself first of all and to others too. ये वो क्या क्या माया खेलती है रे बाबा. That's why we see Indra also in his ahankara doing some mistakes and he is punished. यहाँ तक कि even Brahmadeva, when Lord Krishna avatar के time, he just says, who is Krishna? People are worshipping him. I am the creator. करके he has stolen all the Gwala Bhala as well as the Bachade. For 1 year he hides them. Therefore 1 year Lord Krishna only takes all those forms and goes to everybody's house and all. That is fantastic topic of Bhagavad Mahapuran. Ego of Brahmadev. भगवान being my भगवान के बेटा है, वो नाभि कमल से निकला and highly profiled person. He doesn't want to insult him that way as he defeats and troubles or if gives punishment to Rakshasas. A very rare mistake. That's also by Maya of him only to teach others the lesson. Then for 1 year after that, when Brahmadeva comes and sees all the things where he has stolen is there only where he kept. Still, all of them are there again in Gokula. Then he just realized, Bapre. And in that, Brahma Stuti, one of the top topics of Bhakti and Sharanagati there. Bhishma Stuti in the Prathama Skanda and Brahma Stuti in the Dashama Skanda. Ultimate. There in one of the shlokas, Brahmadeva asks Bhagavan to forgive, saying this that the children in the stomach of mother, when mother is carrying them, they kick the mother inside the stomach. Isn't it? Mother feels happy only with that. She will not punish लाइक मेरे को लात मारते, तू बाहर निकल, तेरा काम. That's how we are inside your stomach, like your children. Once in a while हाथ पैर हिलाते हैं तो आपको टच करता होगा. ये भगवान, ऐसे मानकर आप हमको क्षमा करो. क्यूट एक्सप्रेशन इट इज, है ना. ऑन द अदर हैंड द मदर फील्स हैप्पी व्हेन इट किक्स बिकॉज़ ये बंदा जिंदा है अंदर. दैट इज अ साइन इनसाइड. Anyway, we are here referring to so many texts where the ego is the cause of all our problems and problems to the world because of us as well as not growing spiritual. That crucial point, mother. है ना? In Tulsi Ramayana also, when Bhagavan Rama answers to Lakshmana's questions, one of the questions is what is jnana? कहो ज्ञान विराग रुमाया, कहो सुभगति करो जयदाया, ईश्वर जीवा भेद प्रभु, सकल कहो समझाई, जाके मोई चरण रति शोक मोह ब्रह्म जाय. So for jnana, as an answer to what is jnana, the answer is jnana man jah ekahu nai. What is jnana? Where there is no mana. There is no mana means abhimana, ahankar. He is not a separate being, and because of that, others are not separate from him. Then what is that mana ahankara rahita sthiti in jnanam? Adekahu brahma samana sabamahi. Samana brahma sabamahi dekahu. He has no special individuality of his own and differentiated in the world. Me and Jagat both are substantiated by one Brahman. He has got that Brahma Drishti. That's called Jnana. बहुत बढ़िया ना. So many places we are taught about this. So through our sadhana, when we drop the ego, the real self is revealed. Okay? The more we are egoistic, stronger, with our tapasyas, with our upasanas, with our aneka laukika vidyas, possessions, we will enjoy this world, but the self is, true self is, liberating self is hidden from us. Next, Krishna Vasudeva. Ativahikata jnanam sthitimeshyati shashvatim yada tada hyasankalpan lokan drakshasi pavanan. When you fully establish in your ativahika sthiti, means totally adibhautika deha ahamasmi, that is transcended. You may use the adibhautika sharira when it is required in the adibhautika jagat, but otherwise you are no more in identifying with the adibhautika deha. You are fully settled in the ativahika sthiti. In the gated community you have shifted, but you were in the earlier slum area, so you have a lot of friends there. So once in 3 days you started going. पहले तो शिफ्ट होने के बाद हर दिन 2 घंटे जाना ही पड़ता है, क्योंकि इतने जिगरी दोस्त छोड़कर कैसे आए. 20-30 साल मैं उनके साथ था. आफ्टर सम टाइम you will go only 3 days a week. Then you go once a week. Thereafter, slowly once a month. Then once in 3 months. After that, once a year you go. After a few years, you forget that place only. The slum area where you used to stay because you are habituated to this gated community area. In the same way, the slum area type of life is identifying with the Adi Bhautika Deha. Shifting to Ati Vahika Sthiti is like in that protected gated community. Now stay there permanently. Don't come here again. Like Indians going to America, देख के आएंगे करके देख जाएंगे. Then they like it. Then they extend their stay. Then somehow legal, illegal, कोई ना कोई नौकरी पकड़ लेंगे. Then इधर उधर पकड़ के, then they permanently settle there with green card, proving them to be not required Indians. Ativahika. Then they get money, but they lose all the divinity here. है ना, क्या प्यार है, क्या एकता है. Here life is here. Only mechanical life is there. Nowadays they are improving. Okay. Not that here people are gone. India is always great. Some people may comment Indians in America are doing so many upasanas and all. They're better than Indians. Stupid. Don't say that. When the festivals are there, when Kumbh Melas are there, कौन अमेरिकन आता है? वो इंडियन से करोड़ों लोग खड़े हैं वो लाइन में. Don't underestimate India. Millions of sadhus, yogis, gurus, mahatmas, even in Grihastha staying, are continuously working and protecting our Sanatana Dharma. Nobody can do anything. हाँ चल ही रहा है बहुत सुंदर. Anyway, the idea is ego in one way or the other, or sorry, ativahika deha adibhavati. She says ativahikata jnanam sthitim eshyati shashvatim yada. When you are permanently establishing your identity with the ativahikata, then tadahi, then verily asankalpal lokan rakshasi pavanan. So the non-stula, the sukshma, various realms, they will be accessible to you. There are the different lokas that are there. You will be able to go there, get permission, visa, passport to reach to those places. So there are other realms. There, the evolved jivas are staying there. Like we are in cities and towns in all our maja masti moja. But we don't know there are Haridwars. We don't know there are Kashis. We don't know there are Vrindavans. There are people are different type there, not as commercial as us here. Again in Kashi, Mathura, Vrindavan, Ayodhya, there are two types Haridwars. In Haridwar, there are two Haridwars. One is commercial Haridwar, another is प्योर साधकास. वो गंगा के उस पार रहते हैं वो लोग. You will see only them in the evening Ganga Aarti time, or when you go to any of the Annakshetra there, you see them, thousands of them going there to take bhiksha. Apart from that, you won't see them anywhere. They are only in their japa, tapasya, yoga sadhana, variety of. कोई ज्ञान मार्ग में, कोई भक्ति मार्ग में, कोई योग मार्ग में, कोई राजयोग मार्ग में, कोई अष्टांग योग मार्ग, कोई कुंडली योग मार्ग में, चक्र भेदन मार्ग में. Each one is doing their tapasya. कोई राम भक्त, कोई शिव भक्त, कोई गंगा मैया का, कोई देवी भक्त है, वो किशन भक्त. Wow, it's a nazara to see. Somebody is by-hearting Gita, somebody is by-hearting Upanishads, somebody is by-hearting the Bhagavatam, somebody is by-hearting the Prakarana Granthas. Someone is chanting only Kaivalya Upanishad hundreds of times. Somebody is thinking or told by his guru was only Dakshinamati Stotra with Manasa Ullasa. You study, you will get moksha. He is into that. जाकर देखो आप. कोई अकेले में मौन में रहते हैं महीने में, कोई हर दिन सुबह दोपहर शाम group of 10-20 sit and they do the shastrarth. They do the vicharana. They take Brahma Sutras. They take the Bhamati, they take Vachaspati Mishra, they take all the discussions. Oh ho, there are महामहाज्ञानीस. किस लेवल में वो लोग रहते हैं उनके सामने ये जो हम सत्संग यहाँ करते हैं तो जीरो नथिंग. The way they do the shastrartha there with the authority of Upanishad mantras, then Purana itihasas, then the Bhashya, then Tika, then Vartika, then Tatparya. By heart they know, they quote it. But in that Brahma Sutras, in that, Atradhikarana, in that particular sutra, but Sutrakara said this, and to that Bhashyakara also said this, and while saying so, from that Mundaka Upanishad, he quoted this mantra also. They talk in this language. It's a bouncer only to us. They know intricately in the Bhashya and which sentence said what where. In that also, that Vyakarana used by the Bhashyakara, depending on that, what is the meaning there? I'm just telling about in this current present Bhuloka only, there is totally different loka of beings who are in this way, day in and day out. कोई मन को एकाग्र कर रहा है, कोई चित्त को शुद्ध कर रहा है, कोई बुद्धि को सूक्ष्म बना रहा है. You understood? They are all Mahayogis. Apart from these, in the dense, in the deep Himalayan caves, those who are पक्का हो गए इस सिद्धांत ज्ञान में, now they are there doing that अन्वय व्यतिरेक रूपी निधिध्यासन sadhana. In that cold place, nobody comes, nobody disturbs. Therefore, they choose those places. और एक साधना में होता है साथ में, the देह तादात्म्य is tested there, उपाधि तादात्म्य. And so too, the Ishwaranugraha. You said Ananya Chintayantamam Yogaksham Vahami. Now I am doing your Ananya Chinta, you maintain this upadhi. And that goes on, Bhagavan gives them yoga shakti, and then for months together they don't need the food. They just are doing the sadhana. Nahan Jivasmi, Nahan Devasmi, Aham Sadgana Chidgana Anandagana Brahmas. There are different lokas. Other than this, there are different realms. You understood? And the other day we told you, in the very same world, the world of dogs is different from the world of buffaloes, is different from world of cats, is different from world of squirrels, is different from world of crow, is different from world of parrot. Each have a different world. A mosquito has its own world. Like in your own house. You are in your world, your wife is in her world. And your children are in their own world. And a Babaji comes there and he is in his own world. है कि नहीं? Everybody in their own world. That old lady of 80 years is watching latest Dhoom Dadaka Hindi movie. And this small boy of 11 years is by hearting Bhagavad Gita for Gita competitions. This child was the earlier Buddha who उसको अकल आया इसलिए इस जन्म में शुरू से गीता पढ़ रहा है. And this old lady, right from beginning, she was denied of all enjoyments. Now suddenly the remote came to her hands. She just indulging in all her desires. होता है दुनिया में, आपको मजाक से कह रहा हूँ लेकिन सत्य है. Everybody is in their own world. Sometimes required too. Like if you go to a bank, they're all seated, but different world is. The cashier is in his own world. है ना, वो कॉइन देने वाला अपने वर्ल्ड, जो अकाउंट्स मैनेज करने वाला अपने वर्ल्ड में है, जो नोटों का गिनती कर रहा है वो अपने वर्ल्ड में है. इन द हॉस्पिटल आल्सो, isn't it? The nurses are in their own world, compounders are in their own world, chemists are in their own world, the junior doctors are in their own world, the senior doctors in their own world, patients are in their own dukkha. कब जाओ मैं यहाँ से, है ना? And they ask the doctor, when will be discharged, when will be discharged. दिमाग नहीं, एक सेंटेंस बोल दो डॉक्टर को, मेरा प्रॉपर्टी तुम्हारा पूरा तुम्हारे नाम पे लिख दिया. He says you are fine, now only you can go. No need for 10 days. Isn't it? Simple idea नहीं आता अपन को, क्लिक नहीं होता. Show the doctor all the bank balance. कुछ है नहीं बाबा, कोई लोन भी नहीं देंगे मुझे. Then he says, you have no problem, go right now. Everybody is in their own world. है ना? If you stay in the parliament also, all 540 members in their own world. Together they may think for country, but each one representing their own constitution, their own state, and their own department, their own problems. Apna world में रहते. That's how it is. By the way, so I am giving so many explanations only to say what mother says is, when you stabilize yourself in Ativahika Deha Tadatmya, going beyond the Adi Bhautika, for you the other worlds are accessible. Ativahikta Jnanam Yada Sthitimeshyati Shashvatim Tadahi Asankalpan Lokan Drakshasi Pavanan. Pavana Asankalpa Loka means those lokas where the Sankalpa Kamana Ityadi Dushtata is not there. Swayam Sadhana Loka Kalyanam, they are doing, that's it. Such lokas you will see. Then Vasanathaname Tasmat Kuruyatnamanindite Tasmin Praudhimupayate Jivan Mukta Bhavishyasi. Ye Anindita, what nice name na, you can give to your grandchild. Anandita and Anindita. Hey Anindita, blemishless lady. Tasmat Vasanathaname Kuruyatnam. Let's do your efforts, all required to reduce and remove the vasanas. In that removal of the vasanas, when you mature, tasmin pradhim upayate, when the vasanas have gone away, jivan mukta bhavishyas, you will become jivan mukta. So that's the goal and sadhana indicated. But in Lila, immediately she cannot do that sadhana and reach the goal. Because in her heart, strongly she made some other vasana, which cannot immediately be removed. What is it? She wanted to see that ब्राह्मण ब्राह्मणी लोक, वो वासना भी इनको ये जीवन मुक्ति होने नहीं देगा. That's why mother says, keep that goal told by me intact. But now you are not fit to reach it. You have that strong vasana. Chalo, at least come to the Ativahika Sthiti. I will take you to that world. That will be the next topic, which we'll study tomorrow. Okay. Yavat na puritah tu esha shitalo bodha chandrama. Till that cooling moon of bodha chandrama, Atmanubhava dawns in you. Means before you reach to that, tavat deham avasthapya, leaving this Stula Sharira here, lokantaram avekshatam. Chalo, let's go and watch other different lokas. Lokantaram is different lokas. I will take to you. Then Lila says, why should I leave this body and with my effort and reach to Ativahika? Can't you take me with your Anugraha Shakti because you are Jagan Mata, Saraswati Mata? That type of question. Mother says, no, you are the Mamsamaya Deha. That cannot be reaching to those lokas which can be reached through only the Ativahika Deha. And Ativahika Deha, I should not give. You through your sadhana have to rise above it. I will give you techniques. Already I have given you. But you have to adapt them and come to your Ativahika Deha Tadatmya, transcending Adibhautika. That's how the discussion continues. Okay. Then some sadhanas are told. Then she becomes very happy. Then asks ki how, what is the way out to reach to that chit sthiti, atma sthiti. Then tat chintanam, tat kathanam, that beautiful topic will be there. We'll touch it in 1 or 2 days. In this way, this sarga, jnana abhyasa is very, very powerful. Very, very informative, very, very inspiring. मुझे तो मजा आ रहा है. Continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Tat Sat Brahmarpanam Astu. Very good. Come, let us study. Vakya Vritti.